Hi there. My name's Nick, and I'm a team leader within the CRS services here at Catch22. I'm hosting season 5 of the Catch22 Minutes podcast, Experts by Experience, where we'll be exploring the value of lived experience. I'll be speaking with Catch22 service users from across our services. To listen, search Catch22 Minutes wherever you get your podcasts. Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So we have another episode of our Experts by Experience podcast today. I have a guest with me. He's going to introduce himself.
My name's Obi.
Great to meet you. Great to have you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Thank you for having me.
We're going to be talking about kind of a variety of different things today, but specifically kind of hearing from you your experiences in the system, your life experiences, honestly. We do this podcast because we believe there's a real value in sharing how people's lives have affected their journeys in the justice system, the happenings of the justice system, how it impacts a person, what your life looks like before, when you were in it, when you leave. And so even just you being here and being willing to share, we really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
It's really important. Okay, so talking about systems, or talking about, let's start with your life. How was, big question, how was childhood?
My childhood was, so my mum got pregnant when she was 15 years old and gave birth to me when she was 16. She still lived with my nan and granddad until I think it was like I was about 18 months. And then on my second birthday, my brother was born. So I got a little brother as a gift. So my mum moved out from my nan's, and she's like, my mum's a hard woman. She don't take no crap in it, yeah? So my mum taught me to be stand up for myself and all of them things. I don't want to go into too much detail, but yeah, my mum taught me to stand up for myself. She had a bad choices of relationships as well, which resulted in me living with my nan. Okay. Right, from a very young age, on and off with my mum and back and forth with my nan, but mainly I sort of treated my nan like my mum, you know.
Got it. Yeah.
And then. So basically, at my nan's had a perfect life. I've got 4 little brothers from my mum as well. We all get on very well even to this day.
So you're the oldest?
I'm the oldest of 5, yeah.
Wow, okay.
So, so on and off with my nan. Had a really good life at my nan's house. My nan provided everything for me. I used to behave myself for her and stuff like that. Even though I've always been naughty. I've been naughty since the day I was born, probably before then as well. So, living with my nan, I had a very stable little life. Living with my cousin lived with my nan as well. A girl cousin 2 years older than me. And then my nan got diagnosed with cancer when I was like 12 years old. And within the space of I think it was like 3 months, 6 months or something, my nan passed away. When my nan passed away, I didn't want to go to my mum's. I went to my uncle's. My uncle was a bit of a scumbag. He basically got all the money he could out of social services and stuff like that, and then kicked me out of the house one day.
When you were 12?
When I was like 13 or 12, around about them ages, yeah? So then from that age, I went back to my mum's briefly, and I was doing well at my mum's house. I started going back to school and things like that. I used to get picked up and taken to school in a cab every day because I was so naughty. And I used to go to a centre for bad children and stuff. So I was doing that, I was going along, and then basically social services and the police or whatever, they took me into the care system. I got into the care system straight away. I didn't even spend one night in the foster home, stole her handbag, headed back to London, got back to London. When I got back to London, just running away, then I got taken to a boot camp, me and my brother. Yeah, which is in Wales, and they had us sleeping in ditches, climbing up mountains, walking up mountains, Snowdonia and all of that.
Like a outside boot camp.
Yeah, it was just all these army men, yeah, with just me and my little brother. And then one time this other girl joined us, but they were horrible people, they were severely horrible people, and they was trying to pit me and my brother off against each other and stuff. They would take me in Little Chef. on the motorway and say, you can eat that, but then he's got to eat a tin of beans, cold beans and that. And then me, I wouldn't do it. Like, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that with my little brother, because we've always been loyal. And they done the same thing to him and stuff like that. So they tried to pit us off against each other. They'd always stick us in separate cars when we were going to different places. Like, I'd have to walk away from him. We weren't allowed to talk to each other and things. It was very psychologically, like, demeaning.
Yeah.
Like, very psychologically demeaning. Like, putting me... Like, when I think back, I think, like, I'd already been through so much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, then I was running away again. I got split up from my brother, and then I met one of my best friends, and he was doing the same thing, running from children's homes. So then we used to steal cars, sleep in cars, steal cars, rob people, rob houses, sell drugs, everything you can imagine, yeah? So we was just involved in that lifestyle until... And there was violence involved as well, and it was quite normal, because from a young age, even being in children's homes and stuff like that, I've been involved in violence from a very young age. So it was like on me as well. You know, most of it at first was on me. And then obviously I was taught to stand up for myself. And yeah, so my life was violent. And it got to a point where I committed a crime where someone lost their life. At the time, it was like misplaced loyalties, disrespecting, like pride, you know, showing off as well, not wanting to be left out, not wanting to be that person that like, oh, he didn't ride, he didn't ride. So it's like all of them things, all of them emotions. You don't want to be that guy, especially when you come from where I come from. You don't want to be that guy when your friends go and do that, what they got to do. You're sitting in the car like, well, I ain't involved. Yeah, you don't want to be that guy, because that's a witness. You become a witness then. So yeah, I ended up committing that crime. I couldn't read and write.
Yeah. That feels very important as well.
Had no education, couldn't read and write, went to prison. It was like, it was a bit like I was a bit numb to the situation.
Yeah.
When I did go to prison for murder, it was like a big change in my life, like psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, like even physically. I know I'm going to be in that place for a very long time. Yeah. So then I started, and I was getting letters from my mom. I was getting letters. I couldn't read them. So I went to somebody and I used to get him to read my letters. And then I used to feel embarrassed because my mum would say certain things in the letters. And I was like, oh, that's a bit personal and stuff. So it gave me the inspiration, or the encouragement, should I say, yeah, to start learning to read and write and stuff. So that's what I did. And that was my focus for quite a long time, was reading. And I was reading basically psychology, history, political stuff, religious stuff. They're all like my favourite subjects, anthropology and things like that, you know, like, so all of these things become sort of very interesting to me. And because I hadn't been able to get this information before, it was like giving me a smartphone, but it's a book, because I've never read a book.
Yeah.
So now I'm reading big books as well. Then I studied business and management. With
Whilst
Open
you were
University.
inside?
Yeah,
This
while I
is-
was,
yeah.
and then, like I said, prior to this, I started studying social policy and criminology.
Yeah.
And like find that sort of very interesting, and looking at the system where I was in a very controlled environment. So I was in a high security category A prison. I was in Belmarsh, Whitemoor, Full Sutton, and then I went to Swaleside, and so on. Basically been around the whole system. Yeah. But they were like the main parts of my sentence where I spent the most time. I was in a place here where I felt inspired by the people that I was around, yeah, because they knew more than I knew, yeah, and I knew I was going to be there for a long time, so I blocked out the fact that I'm in prison sort of thing, yeah? And because I was learning these new things and I was around these people that I learned to trust, they were older than me, some of them didn't even have charges. Walk on any wing in the country, and you will find good people near enough in every single cell. You'll find lost people, you'll find hurt people, you'll find people healing, you know? So it's like...
that feels important.
And also, we're all in different stages of our lives as well. So it's like, bringing it back to Islam, so I don't just want to talk about Islam, by the way, yeah. So, and I also, I'm not like some religious guy or anything like that. So like,
I think it's important. It was important to hear that part of you, because the way that you brought it in was like, when you were in prison and you were feeling exactly what you just said, hurt, lost, fearful, healing, that found you. So this third of your life, what does it feel like? What do you still have, like, Do you still feel like you're being punished by the world?
Do you know what I've learned? Like, I've just learned, like, you know, in life, yeah, you just got to keep going no matter what happens, and you got to keep developing. And, you know, your path is so unique, yeah. It's like you don't know where it's gonna go, yeah, but you can always like open your heart and just open your heart to good and close it off to any negativity, yeah. And if negativity comes your way, deal with it, right? But deal with it in a constructive and positive way, yeah. Like have a plan, like, oh God, my car's broken, you know. I haven't got enough money to get it fixed, yeah. How am I gonna get that money to get it fixed, yeah? I still have to pay the road tax, I still have to pay the insurance, all of them things. Now I've got to try and get this car fixed, yeah. I've got to ring around and get a good deal, yeah. But my car's still broken, I can't use it. I've got other stuff to do. But at the same time, as long as I stay focused and even if I fail at doing and keep going, eventually my car's gonna get fixed. And I'm gonna be on the roads again.
Towards the thing that you need.
Exactly.
So what do you want for your life? What is do you have like a I know, right?
That's a scary question.
Do you have like a goal or something that you really relate to about how you want to turn things now?
Yeah, like it keeps following me. Like even like see I'm doing this interview now, yeah, or podcast, should I say? Sorry, but it's like this keeps following me, yeah. And I don't know whether it's because of the studying I've done and my lifestyle or anything like that. But I feel like when I talk to people that work with offenders, I feel like I open their eyes a little bit to other things, and that we can like obviously have good communication, and I can like help people in the sense of like, you know, helping their mentors and that, yeah. Like that is the path that I see myself going on. Like I don't want to put myself around criminals because I've been around them my whole life, you know. I want to help them. I want all the guys to like feel at ease in prison. I want them to be creative and successful, yeah. I want them to use their time in prison, yeah. And I want the system to make it possible for them to become creative, to make whatever they want, to learn whatever they want, to do whatever courses they need to do, whether it's educational, whether it's emotional, psychological, all of these things, they should have it at their fingertips in prison. Because why are they there otherwise? Why are they there? Why are you locking these people in a box?
If you're not building on yourself, if you're static.
Exactly. Why are you locking them in the box? The question I want to answer, I want answers to them questions.
Yeah.
Why are you locking them in the box for 23 hours a day with F all to do? Yeah. You're charging them to communicate with their family, extortionate prices, yeah. You're not letting them see their family except for once every 2 weeks or something like that. I forget what it is. I think it's 3 or 4 visits a month or something, yeah. When these people are in a bad place, they're taking drugs, they've been beaten up, they're getting bullied, they're bullying other people, they're stabbing other people, they're still carrying on that lifestyle. Their parents don't know, yeah. Their girlfriends don't know, their aunties and uncles don't know, because the system's locked it off and their system ain't open with them. So the system need to bring families together and say, why is this man broken? Why is your family broken? Like, look, his mum's working, his dad's working, he's got a good wife, his wife's doing. So why is this guy doing this? Like, come on, mate. Like, and then if he gets punished and put in prison, why ain't his family involved in that, you know, rehabilitation to help him and aid him in that rehabilitation and to, you know his red flags and green flags and all of these things that they teach you in
and
TSP.
Do it holistically,
yes.
And your perspective on that, because of your lived experience, the value that you could be to a charity or a company or a service that works, that has a team of practitioners or a team of mentors that are going out there. Even like, I know before we were talking about your work in policy and in research, like your voice shaping what is happening in the justice system. You don't have to work one-on-one with people that are in it to shape it.
Exactly.
Like, and I want you to like harness that because you do have such a good voice and such an important voice. And so I want, my hope
I'm just
is that
taking
you
the opportunity. Like, so with me, like I said to you, I'm closing off negativity, innit? Negative people, all of that, yeah. I don't want nothing to do with it, man. Like, honestly, I'm done with it. Like, I'm fed up. I'm fed up on myself being negative, yeah. I'm fed up with people sitting there like moaning all day long and all that. Even though I'm probably one of the moaniest person, when I'm on my own, I'm probably one of the moaniest people ever, yeah.
Hands
you know
up.
what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But I just don't want to be around like, you know, people that haven't got any, you know, sort of ambition in a sense, or they will sit there and judge people and stuff. I don't want to be around that. Like, it's not. I've been in that environment my whole life, you know. Like, it's
you
not
want
me.
ambition,
You know what I mean? And now, so I know myself, yeah, that when I'm talking and what I'm saying, yeah, I have a valid point, yeah, and I have, you know, good experience and good knowledge about what I'm saying. I feel comfortable saying it, yeah. So I don't feel like under pressure from no one. You know what I'm saying? So the only person that can pressure me is myself. Yeah. So my thing is, I want to talk to people like yourself, yeah, that help other people and stuff like that. I want the system, if like anything, just to be a little bit of empathy in it, just a little bit of empathy in the system, yeah, to realize that we're human beings, yeah, we're not animals, yeah, we don't need to be warehoused and caged, yeah, and treated like shit, right, and fed shit, right, and drinking water that smells like chlorine, and bathing in unhygienic places and stuff like that. I want the system to be more like open-minded. I want them to be more empathetic, yeah? And I want them to teach us to be empathetic towards each other, yeah? That's what we need to do.
Yes.
Because in prison, it's such a hard environment. You're harsh. You're harsh on yourself. You're harsh on everyone around you. You don't trust no one. It's not a community. You need to make it a community. I need to make it a hub of like ambition. You know what I mean? Why are you here? What do you want to do with your life? How can we help you, sir? You don't want help, you don't get it, yeah? You know what I mean? But how can we help you? And as long as you are willing to receive this help, yeah, and you're gonna take it seriously, and you agree to it, you sign up, you agree to it, do the courses, go on the experiences, or do whatever you want to do, yeah? It doesn't matter what you want to do, yeah? Now we have technology. You can sit in your cell and you can access what is it called? Courses online. The prison can download it. You don't need Wi-Fi.
Any kind of learning, yeah.
AI, there's all AI that they can use, which they need to start implementing in the prisons in order to rehabilitate people.
Yeah.
Not,
And so when people leave, that they're not out of touch with what society is as well.
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
you're building. I love what you're saying about like making it a community hub. We move as a community. We learn as a community.
Exactly.
Because then people are going to integrate far better on the outside.
It's the same like you see outside, like you see in the riots and stuff like that, yeah? Prison is like, you know, like put a magnifying glass on society and shrink it, yeah? That's what prison is, yeah? But it needs to be more encouraged to help each other. Prisoners need to be encouraged to be nice, yeah? Prisoners need to be encouraged to share, yeah? Because you're not allowed to give each other things, swap and stuff like that in prison, yeah? You need to be encouraged to share, yeah? And you need to be encouraged to like progress together, to actually not be afraid to learn. You know, not to be afraid to learn, not to be afraid to, I know everything. No, you don't know everything. You need to learn, you know, not to be afraid to step back and humble yourself and say, all right, you know what, out there I was doing a hell of a madness. This is why I'm here. Do you know what, when I was out there, I didn't even think of going to university. I didn't think of doing this. I didn't think of doing that. But now, I'm going to take this opportunity. I've got 3 years of my life, 4 years, 10 years, whatever it is. Just break it down, learn, man. But doing a long time in prison, you have different stages as well. And the thing is, you need to catch people at the right stage to release them. And trust me, it's not after 15 years. That ain't the best stage to be releasing someone. That's when they're actually psychologically like gone through so much trauma in their life, and they've probably been holding it all back. And then when they get outside, they'll find themselves actually letting that trauma out. You know what I'm saying? And
it manifests, doesn't it? Once you feel,
when I was not long ago, just over, less than a year ago, I was in Elmley, HMP Elmley. And as I said to you, like, I was running a course every morning. It's called the Here to Help, yeah? So I was running a course every morning, like emotional health and stuff like that, yeah? I've been gang mentors and stuff like that in all different jails as well, yeah? And I was running this course every morning, yeah? And I was going on the meetings with the governors and stuff like that, and I was so upset with the way the YYs were getting treated in the system, yeah? And straight away, they're stereotyped. They get, look, this is a gang member, he's wearing his trousers down here, this, that, the other, yeah? When they first come in, a lot of these guys, yeah, these YYs, I see them straight away, yeah, because I induct them or whatever. They're scared, they're crying, yeah? They're 18 years old. I've got an 18-year-old daughter.
What? We've got to tie up because we're coming to the end of our time, which we're so like, there's so many things to talk about. Yeah. But what would you say is something, if you could change or pivot one part of your journey, so if you're reflecting back, what part would you change?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all, no. I think, do you know what? I think I like the person that I am. Yeah, I like the person that I am. I don't dislike the person I was either. Do you know what I mean?
Because it made you who you are.
Yeah. So I used to be very harsh on myself in terms of discipline and things like that. Yeah, I'm not like I'm having a break from that at the moment, from being so disciplined and stuff like that, because it does stress you out. But I wouldn't change nothing about myself. Yeah, if I could give back that person his life, yeah, I would do that. Like I would give him, like I would do everything in my power for that person to be back with his family. And like I am so honestly, people could try and doubt me, but I'm honestly like so like sorry about that situation. Yeah, and it wasn't intentional. Yeah, so but I think sometimes where it wasn't intentional, it's worse, because I have to live with the fact. I have to live with that. The family has to live with that. You know what I mean? So my thing is like, if I was gonna change something, it would be for him, not for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's it. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's okay.
I really, really appreciate your vulnerability and you sharing. Yeah, it was great to talk to you.
You too, man.
Thank you, Ovi.
Yeah, thank you.
At Catch-22, we work with young people and adults providing intervention, rehabilitation, and victim services in prison and in the community. To learn more, visit catch-22.org.uk.